Okay. It's Sunday night at Steve's place. I'd like to welcome uh, from our extended vacation here, kinda. Although it really wasn't a vacation. Uh, we're just finishing all the stuff up from our conference here, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that. We had a great conference. Uh, I'd hoped we could have used a lot more of you there, but it is what it is. We had a great time. Um, we even had additional sessions on it. I mean, we added 6 hours to the conference on Saturday night, Friday and Saturday nights with the Malcolm Bendall there with his plasmoid technology there, and we even had an engine running on that technology on afterwards. Um, the live stream is still available as a VOD now. Um, if you just go back through some of the past posts on that, I'm sure you'll find it. If not, I'll be putting it out later on in another email here soon. Um, we finally got caught up on the DVDs. We do have one glitch. For some reason the uh, Joe Blanton videos uh, somehow got mixed up with another speaker's video, and so we finally got his video correct. And we'll be sending out the replacement videos out in the next 2 weeks here. If you picked up the Joe Blanton videos at the conference, uh, give us a call. I encourage everyone to go ahead and get a set of DVDs. They're still on sale. I'm going to extend the sale till for another week here, um, since I took so long to get back online here, and I'm getting ready for next year's conference. It will probably be at the Crown Plaza again. The room rates are fantastic. We expect them to be in the range of about $85. Um, the rooms are really nice rooms. Everybody loved it. I mean, every night, we had something great to eat, um, whether it be tacos or whatever. There's always something good to eat, and there's plenty of it, and we also had breakfast and that, every morning too, for those who were staying at the hotel. Um, Albuquerque was fantastic, a lot cooler than Las Vegas. Right now here, it's still in the hundreds in that, you know. Hopefully, we'll see some relief coming soon. This is, I know some people freak out, but this is global warming at work here. You know, uh, it manifests itself in many ways, and a lot of times, it's what you call a paradox. You know, um, anyway, it's just conference. Right now, we're putting out a call for papers. Uh, it's going to be August 7th to 11th in Albuquerque, most likely at the Crown Plaza. Um, you're not going to get better room rates than what I get for $80, $85 a night. Okay, which will include breakfast. You're not going to at a 4-star hotel. You're not going to get a better deal. I can just about guarantee that. And we do from time to time we do what you call competitive bids on the properties and that, and so I kind of have a handle on what's being offered and how much everyone else is raising. Now, I'm also planning to keep the registration rates the same. So if you start planning early, like right now, I'm sure you'll be able to figure a way to get there. I'm expecting to have top-notch speakers just like we did this year. I don't think we can get better speakers than what we got. I mean, every year they just get better and better and better. Plus, we have a pretty extensive vendor space. This year, we had a new vendor, Margaret from Silverwater, and she's doing the work of Jeez, excuse me, of Mr. Wayne, of the Wayne Water fame, Wayne Rowland. Um, since his video has gotten online back in June, I've gotten no less than about 2 to 3 phone calls a week minimum regarding Mr. Rowland, who had passed away 8 years ago. Uh, next next week, we're going to have Margaret from Silverwater come here, and she's going to explain to us exactly what the Silverwater is all about, perhaps even some of the parasite programs that they have going on. This guy was extremely popular. He spoke at Global Sciences in 1996 and in Tampa at Global Science in 1997. I met him briefly there. But like I say, his stuff is very popular. I mean, when you go to the conference, everybody's asking, is Wayne going to be here? Is Wayne going to be here? You know, is there some Wayne water here? So I'm sure Margaret's going to be at our conference next year. And if you don't order the water and stuff next week, after she gets done with it, I'm sure we'll have it at the conference so you can try it out there. There's just so much going on. Oh, I mentioned our live stream at the conference with Malcolm Bindall, who's doing some of the plasmoid technology. And it's a lot of ways it's similar to the GEAT technology, and also some of the storm technology, dealing with the plasmoids and that. It's just and it all centers around this low temperature plasma too, But we've been doing this stuff for years, and Malcolm seems to have it all kind of pulled together into a coherent theory in that. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to get him online. But until then, we do have the Plasmoid Technology Series, which is 6 hours of streaming from the conference, And that brings me to another point, I'm considering possibly streaming it. I don't know. I don't know if we could afford that. But the problem I'm having is the whole thing about having a conference is to have people there, and you can actually meet people, and it forms like what you would call a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and as independent researchers, we need that. Like the corporations and that, they have their the corporations already have their communities basically, and they have their the IEEE, which forms the basis, for many of the professional organizations there, and so they have like a sense of community among the professional engineers. But as independent researchers who work out of garages, and from our own resources, and also from our own facilities, we don't have that sense of community. And a lot of times we're kind of isolated, And so things like this conference is very important. The only other conference I'm aware that would be even close to the scale of magnitude of mine would be the conference in Spokane, and hopefully he will have one again next year. Although it's hard, if we don't get the attendance that we need to get to these conferences to help cover expenses. I feel very fortunate, that I'm able to do this, and part of that is because I don't need a lot of money to personally to live, and all the money that we get, will end up going right back into putting together conferences, and hopefully I can get the magazine going soon too. But that, it takes a little bit of income. It takes people to sign up for conferences and come to conferences, and supporting our vendors in that, we need your support, and the one way you can show your support is come to the conference. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is free. It is free to be a subscriber on the YouTube channel. Um, and that really benefits us in a lot of different ways. Perhaps the most important way is that when you subscribe, uh, you get notified of everything, but the search engines are looking at that. They're looking at the number of subscribers we have and what the subscribers are looking at, you know, and on that they base their recommendations to let other people know about us, and it puts us to the top of the list of the search engines on that, which is very important to get people to get interested in the many forms of disruptive technologies that we promote here, you know, um, and although we call it, what we do extraordinary technology, in a way it can be more properly considered disruptive technology, starting with the Tesla turbine, the Tesla, all the Tesla coils. When the Tesla coils were first uh, created and designed by Nikola Tesla, they didn't exist. Radio didn't exist. Radio is only possible due to uh, the Tesla coil. Your car engine, on an internal combustion engine, uh, is basically an 8-headed or 6-headed or 4-headed Tesla coil. Where you're taking low frequency, low voltage, changing it to high frequency, high voltage. So energy. So it's very disruptive. And when Tesla's doing the work, he was looking at capturing. He was looking at capturing um, the, the disruptive parts of the current. Like as an electrical engineer, we look at two things: the initial state and then the steady state solutions, okay, of any equation. And that initial state, when you turn on a switch, you get this big wave that comes up and then falls right back down. As is as the over unity part of the equations, and the engineers, what we're trying to do, we're trying to take and eliminate that wave, as engineers, because we want things to be nice and smooth, but it's in that initial jump, that you get the infinity impulse, which is where all the alternative energy is really concerned in. And everything like the low temperature plasma, they all depend on that type of energy formation, for lack of a better word. So we hope to be doing a lot more research in that area and find more information on it. One of the things we've also run into in the last week was we had one of our videos censored. Robert Beck from 1996, I believe it was, the 1996 video. Could have been the 97. But anyway, it was taken down. They didn't, it's kind of weird. They didn't give me a warning, and they didn't even give me a strike. They just took it down, and told me that's what they're going to do, and they weren't going to go give me a strike or anything. The only thing I can figure out is about 11 minutes in, he started talking about cancer, and they didn't like that. That's a throwback to the 90s, 80s and 90s. When the feds, really looked down upon the anything that they mentioned cancer cure. In fact, if you come out and said you had one, they would come and basically shut your doors down. I've had some friends that have went through the ringer because of that. So what we will be doing here is the people who did the streaming for us, HowTube. That's HOWTUBE, HowTube.com. I will be setting up a channel on there, and I'll be putting all the forbidden videos up there as they get kicked off. In the meantime, I'll probably be putting all the controversial stuff or things that I think they may get upset as members only videos. I've also started removing um, the advertising. If it's a members only, I want to take off the any other advertising because I feel uh, if you pay for it, uh, you should be able to get it for without the advertising. I can't encourage people to actually join the conference, or not the conference, but the YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel. Hold on just a second. Yeah, our YouTube channel can be found by going to the testatech.info, and you can click on the Tesla Tech channel and join right there. Uh, we have on our website, we also have a conference directory, which is on the website and not YouTube. On the conference directory, I have all the conferences broken out by conferences. You click on it, it will bring up all the speakers in that conference. And if you go to the speaker directory, which is set up by individual speaker, um, you click on a speaker, it will bring up everything about that speaker, all the videos that we have. Now, this is ongoing, so it's not 100% yet. And it will probably never be 100% because we're constantly adding stuff. Uh, it's hard to keep up with everything. Right now, we have over 1,000 videos up there. Many of them are free as subscribers. And then we also have the members only videos. Um, it costs $9.99 a month for a member to get all access to everything. And I feel it's a bargain because, like right now, I said we had over 1,000, and I got about another 1,000 more I'm getting ready to put up there. The username will eventually be Tesla Tech on there. We're not quite sure exactly how he has that organized as far as how to. We'll be getting with that, and once I get that set up on how to, I'll be putting another box like I did for the YouTube right below the YouTube. Okay. There's a lot of things I hope to do with HowTube in the future. We may be able to offer online DVD sales, like where you can buy them online through HowTube. I'm not sure how that works yet, so the school is still out on that. In the meantime, order the DVDs from testatech.info. Like I say, we still have the sale on. You buy 3 or more, you get $10 off each one. If you buy the whole set is down to $300 plus $20 shipping and handling. One of the big things we had to do this year is we had to raise the shipping. The post office has gotten really outrageous, especially when it comes to foreign mail. I'm sorry for the people who live outside this country because it just costs way too much for shipping. Now, this show is going to be kind of short here, unless anyone has any more comments. We will be doing Margaret next week on the Silver Water, and then about 2 weeks after that, we will have Polly Katie coming on. Now, Polly was a speaker at Global Science, and she did handwriting analysis, and she was very accurate. The first time I met her was in January of '96. She was at that conference, and she looked at my handwriting and says, "You have a broken heart." And she was right. I just broken up, with this my girlfriend at that time, and yeah, I had a broken heart. But her theory is that you could take the take your handwriting, okay, which is cursive, okay, with cursive writing, you could change your life, okay, because when you write, What you write is you. Okay, when you're writing cursively. That's why cursive writing is so important in school, and they don't emphasize cursive. In fact, some schools are trying to get rid of cursive writing. Um, it's a travesty. But anyway, Paul's going to teach you how to take that knowledge and change your life around just by the way you write. And so that will be coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll be looking forward to that. And then I have Michael Crosswhite coming, and he is doing the Bedini uh, motor research. Unfortunately, John Bedini is no longer with us. Um, but his research goes on in the form through like people like Michael Crosswhite, who also spoke at the conference. Um, and so that's a few people that I have coming. If you know of any other people, that should be here, you should get hold of them, see if they'd be interested in doing a presentation, sharing their research with their fellow researchers and keep going on, because we do have a lot of problems in this world. And it's only through people working together to on technology and that a lot of this is going to be solved. Unfortunately, this country does not have a sense of community anymore. BC, which is before COVID, we were growing and everything, and people would go to conferences and that. PC, post COVID, people have isolated themselves. They're self-isolating. They're fearful of another disease coming along the way. A lot of people are having financial problems, and I can understand that. And all I can say is you got to decide what's important to you. I have some very basic things. Like, I have a car. My car I drive is I have a car from 2006, and I have a truck from 1997, and I keep them on the road. There's nothing like having a paid vehicle, and you only have to worry about maintenance every now and then, as far as major maintenance and that. You take care of your vehicles, they'll take care of you. Um, and as a result, I got to do a lot of planning. It's like when I plan a conference. I had to plan my conferences a year in advance. Like the like where we're going to have it. That has to be determined about a year in advance. Otherwise, I don't get the space I want. I don't get the good deals. Otherwise, so I try to start planning a year in advance. Now, when we do our call for papers, what I'm trying to do is get the abstracts by November 31st this year. Excuse me, November 30th. I need to go in and change that this year, so that we can take and have some idea of who the speakers are by January, and I could try to have a program together by the end of February and get it to the printer, so I can take and start distributing. So that's what I'm working on right now. And Maria, you're asking about Mr. Dan Davison. Well, sometimes we may have him. We have had him in the past. You might want to go and look through the past episodes where he was speaking on that, and hopefully you can find what you're looking for there. And then we're looking at a comment here about electric cars. And another thing to be, electric cars are in flux. Okay, there's new developments coming. There's going to be a lot of changes. By the time that they ban ICE engines, that's internal combustion engines, they should have the electric cars pretty much stabilized to be as reliable as gas cars. But right now, everything is in a state of flux, so it's not a perfect situation. Uh, they're coming out with new battery technology, and I'm looking forward to seeing how some of this comes along, because one of the things I want to do is I want to move back out into the country, and I want to live in a place where there isn't, you know, where you don't have like in a city. If anything happens in the city, things get turned back on within a matter of hours. Live out in the country could be a matter of days, you know. And so you want to have reliable electricity, and hopefully the new battery technologies that they are coming out with um, will be able to make it so people can have this stuff on their own houses without the fire hazard that the current technology has. I foresee a future where uh, if I lived out in the country right now or owned property, I would build a, a roof above my house, and so the house would be shaded, and on the roof would be all the solar cells. Kind of like if you go through, drive through the desert these days, you see all these acres and acres of solar panels. It makes me want to cry, uh, because of destroying the desert when they do that, and they should be putting all those solar cells uh, on all these parking lots they got in the city. It'd be a good place to start. The VA, the military, they have already taken steps in that. If you go to the VA hospital here in Las Vegas, they got rid of all the trees there, and they replaced it with solar panels. So everyone parks in the shade now, and a good part of the electricity they use at the hospital is provided by those solar panels. So they're reducing their carbon footprint. Um, so that's a good start. Um, I'd like to see in the country, if you're going to be using solar cells, you go to like the dual use and maybe raise livestock or grow crops underneath these solar panels. I know, like when I lived in Arizona, the plants I had, if they were in direct sunlight, it was terrible. They'd burn up, really fast. Like, in a couple of days or a week, they'd burn up. Sometimes this thing gets so hot. But if the ones that were in the shade, they did great. I mean, like all the tomatoes, they got super big tomatoes and everything on the shaded plants. So something like that, I can see it, and they have a lot of the desert they converted to cropland. That they just need to put these solar cells there and maybe lift them up about another 6 feet or so the vehicles can get underneath of them. So anyway, I hope you all would take the time to check out the YouTube channel and go in and become a subscriber if you haven't already. And subscriptions are very important. And then maybe if you want to see the members only, go in and join. I think you all have a great time. So anyway, with that, I'm just gonna call it a night, and I know it's kind of short this week and that. Next week, I hope to. I don't know who I'm gonna get for next week. Oh yeah, I do, Margaret. So next week should be a lot more expensive, and we should have a lot of good information on the silver water, or Wayne water, um, as he is known. So thank you for coming, and thank you for attending, and pass the good word out, and that I'm back, and we're going to try to get this thing rolling again. Thank you so much. And y'all, be sure to smash the thumbs up, and subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all next week. Goodbye.